Don't panic. Out of anything you do, don't.
What's goody? So, it is the end of the week. Now, I did want to. Well, I think it was Wednesday when I last did a video. I did want to do a video yesterday, but because I was still like holding this trade yesterday, and it hit TP today, which is Friday. Well, it's now Saturday technically for me. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's almost 1 a.m. I did mean to record this video earlier, but I had to do some shit. Yeah, market closed about 4 hours ago. Is that right? No. 3 hours ago. Yeah, 3 hours ago. Yeah, pretty sick day on GU. Pound USD. I know in the last video I did go through gold, SPX. They haven't really done much, and I didn't really see any positions on there, but I was looking at GU around this time when on Thursday, well, it was approaching Thursday basically. So this was around Asian. Is that right? Yeah, this is Asian session because London session is Eastern, isn't it? So I want to be really quick about this little breakdown, but I want to be as in depth as I possibly can. So I took basically, we'll go through the whole thing, but these are GU cells. I was looking at potentially taking cells from here basically down to here, based off the fact that price broke this low here, the major low. Price failed to break the highs here, failed to break the highs here, failed to break the highs here, and then we eventually broke a low. So price is clearly bearish, with this bearish leg moving down nicely, and price obviously had to correct that move when price was down here. So we weren't looking to sell price on Wednesday when price was basically just ranging, because price is too low to sell, and obviously we know when a price is moved this much, then it's bound to correct at some point, to continue the trend, or even if it's going to break the trend, it's going to have to correct anyway. So you're always going to expect a correction after an impulsive move like this, and I believe this impulsive move simply we touched on it in the last previous video. This was basically just like built up volume from Monday because the market wasn't open Monday, and yeah, we had volume straight away pretty much. This was like this was London session, sorry. So like the London session, the first London session of the year on Tuesday the 2nd, was when we had this impulsive move, and I knew after this impulsive move on GU that we are bound to expect a correction. Obviously, Wednesday took care of that basically, and by the time we came round to London session, Thursday was it? So yesterday London session, we had already corrected all the way back up to the 0.2700 level, which was around where I was looking to sell price down to pretty much the 0.2600 level, but I actually took profit a little bit higher than that because on this I wasn't actually using this chart. I don't use forex.com because this is like my updated chart. The Wanda chart, you can see that actually price couldn't close below this level here, you know, and that is basically the the support, if you will. Price came into this zone multiple times, rejected and reversed, and we're going to go through. That's exactly what happened on NFP today. Price tapped into the zone. It wasn't strong enough to actually close down there at this point because it was very high volume, and price pushed up and broke the highs with an impulsive move happening today. But yeah, so that's why I had the target a little bit here. I didn't really have the target like right below the lows. I wanted like to basically just target these candle bodies. And that's where I was basically looking to take profit in this area, just in this general area of like 26.10 to like 26.20. Let's say, like, that's basically the area I was looking to take profit on. So let's go back to this chart. This was the sell position that I took on Thursday and held it overnight till New York session on Friday, where we had NFP. So after price corrected and it was back above this level, after we had this impulsive move down here, I knew the price was bearish as long as we could stay below this 27.60 level, because these are the highs that we created previously, and obviously, as you can see, price was just getting lower and lower, and not breaking the highs, refusing to break the highs. So that's what we want. We want this trend to continue. So we do not want these highs to get broken, or even realistically this high. So when we look to take price back below this level, as we get a closure below this level, and New York session is coming around. We are in New York session right now, and this is why you see this orange beam here. It was around 1 p.m., 2 p.m. Yeah, well, GMT for me. It was about 8 to 9 a.m. Eastern. As you can see on the chart, well, 10 a.m. realistically, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Yeah, so price pushed below and then pull back above slightly. Now, what we want to see here, because we've just had the open, we want to see a rejection in this area as prices pull back into this area, because you see on the lower time frames, we've actually got a nice fair value gap here, which was perfect on the 30-minute, and price rejected that level nicely. Obviously, it shows evidently on the lower time frames as well, and we have this huge shift below this level. It's kind of like a lower time frame breaker structure, you could say, which is nice. So the lower time frames are shifting in proportion with the hourly and stuff. Just quickly put a dotted line here. Red one. Fuck's sake, it can't be that thick. So yeah, breaker structure here. Price obviously pushed back above the support ever so slightly, but staying below this high that we have here. So as long as the price remains below here, and obviously remaining below here, respecting the highs and breaking the lows, we want to see price break this minor low here that's created just before New York session, and price rejected this level. So I'm definitely looking to get in at this point. Price action looks so well, and obviously we want price to stay below here, so I can have my stop loss here comfortably, knowing that if this high gets broken, chances are we are going to go bullish, even if it's short term, because I believe there was news dropping around this time as well. Let's actually pull Forex Factory over 1 second. So, oh, fuck's sake. Go back. So for Thursday we had, is this right? Oh no, this is fucking. How about this is we had ADP non-farm employment change and unemployment claims on Thursday. It was around 1:15 to 1:30, so like let's say half an hour after the open. So news was already like dropped by this point, and this was like the aftermath of news. Price was pushing up, but obviously not breaking this high that we created on the hourly. Realistically, that's like now a major high now, because we've had closures below and stuff, and prices actually pushed down to make like a lower high, you could say, on the higher time frames. So what we're looking now for is obviously price to do with simple stuff, which is break these lows here, but remain below this high. And this fair value gap is just the perfect entry for us. And the high time frame rejection is perfect. Yeah, I honestly thought when price began pushing down and rejected nicely and everything looked so good, like the setup was really, really good. Even the 4 hour, with that rejection and not being able to break those highs, like this is exactly what we want. So it looked all good on all time frames. It just died. The volume died very quickly. But then price began to move in the next London session. We broke, basically at London Open, we broke the lows. And that broke us the minor lows, and that meant that all time frames basically switched in confluence with each other. And we were able to just continue down to those lows. But the thing is, there was something conflicting here. Normally I would be okay with this trade had we not be on the first week of the fucking year. This is the first week of January 2024. The first Friday of January we were going into. This was Friday, today's London session, where price broke this low. So I was around 40 pips in profit. I should have had the screenshots and shit ready, but yeah, I'll show you the entry price. Well, you can see the entry price. I literally got, I think my MT5 entry price was around 27.10 or something. So it was like a little bit lower. Oh no, wait, was it? Yeah, it was. It actually was a little bit higher. It was around 27.10. So 0.2710, and I took profit around 26.20. So it was a little bit higher than like where my target was, because we're going to go into that right now, because NFP was approaching very quickly as price was continuing to push down. Price was very low. Let's go back a second. When NFP hit, and obviously I expected a wild candle when NFP hit, because anybody that has any level of experience in trading knows what NFP is. It's the first Friday of every month, and there's a lot of volume on this day at 1:30 p.m. GMT. I believe that's 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, I was expecting the wild stuff here, and I was I was actively on the charts at this time, getting ready to close my trade at any given moment, because I wasn't going to rely on my stop loss. Because I mean, not necessarily my stop loss. My stop loss was like there still, like I still had it said, but my target, because a lot of times I'll have my targets like below the lows or something. Like I thought about with this trade, but because it was NFP, I wasn't taking any chances. And honestly, when price got into this area, almost immediately, as soon as and I think it was like 3 minutes after NFP, price went from here to like down to here, and it was rejecting massively. It was high volume. I'm just being honest. Very, very volatile when price was here. even if we go down to the lowest time frames, I think it's just a wick. But yeah, you can see how fast this was happening, even on the 1 minute. Like literally within like 2 minutes, price had dropped, and it was already back up within like 2 or 3 minutes after that. So yeah, price was down here, and I just manually closed my trade, I believe for 80 pips profit. Yeah, I got just around 5 pips less than what my target was on TradingView. But that's totally fine with like spreads and everything. I was totally fine with around that anyway. I only risked 30 pips, as you can see. Yeah, I literally only risked 30 pips. It was a nice clean trade. So I made well over 1 to 2 on that individual trade, which I'm very happy with. I was able to get out the trade literally about 2 or 3 minutes after NFP had dropped, which I was expecting that, honestly. I just really didn't want to close my trade early when it was in like that much profit, and because of like the confirmations and everything. And I believe, like I honestly did believe that no matter which way price did go initially, it was going to push down to this area. Might not have broke the lows, which it actually didn't break the lows. It came very close, but obviously I didn't know how it was going to react once it comes back to that level. You don't know until it actually closes the candle. And obviously after this massive wick closed, I knew the price was probably going to push up afterwards. So had I been in the trade here and it closed with me here, I would have closed it anyway, or managed the trade somehow, because yeah, that is bad news. But I knew that if price did push down here, it could only be momentarily, because it was so high impact. I didn't really want to be. I knew I would have to. Or I knew regardless of which way it was going, that when NFP dropped, I would have had to close my trade anyway. So yeah, because I would have had to, even if it was going to hit target or it was going to hit stop loss. I just knew during that time it was going to have enough volume to push either way. And that was the volume I was waiting for, basically, going into New York session on Friday. And I was already like, I had the opportunity to take majority partials down here if I wanted to. I was in a decent amount of profit coming into New York Open, and obviously I knew NFP was coming up, so I was well aware that something like this could happen. I just took the chance that price would push down here and at least hit my stop loss, at least hit my target before tanking off if it was going to do so, which obviously I had. I mean, not obviously, but I had a good feeling that price was going to push up and do some bullshit like this today. But I also, when it does these types of stuff, I understand that sometimes it will still break the lows, you know what I'm saying? Because honestly, I did actually anticipate this to happen, but I anticipated to actually break the lows and like take liquidity, but it didn't break the lows. It just came into this zone, you could say, like a little support area, and just massively rejected, because this is a like heavy support over a higher time frame, as we went through before. So this is like a sensitive level. So price obviously pushed into that during a high impact time, NFP, and the rest was history. And normally what I've noticed with high impact news or with NFP, this is just based off experiences, if it pushes one way initially, like whatever way it pushes first, normally it ends up reversing. Now that obviously isn't guaranteed, it's just something I've slightly picked up, that majority of the time if price pushes one way aggressively first, then it's just going to flip by the end. And that's exactly what happened here, because I was watching this candle live and it pushed this way first massively. Like all of a sudden price was here a minute before the news dropped, then a minute later it's down here. So I knew the price is going to be wild right now, that even even if price does end up closing down here, it's going to end up going woo, like wild. So when price was down here, a minute afterwards, I was just like, right, yeah, I'm just going to take this because I know what be happening with NFP, and it's just, I don't feel comfortable. Price is basically giving me exactly what the fuck I want, and yeah, I'm not going to get greedy and want that extra couple pips of breaking the lows, because had I had my stop loss like here, just below the lows or something, I wouldn't have even been stop loss. I keep on saying fucking stop loss. Target underneath at the lows. I wouldn't have even been triggered out. But yeah, I just managed to get that target hit because I had it a little bit above the lows, just to be cautious. With it being NFP, I didn't want to be too greedy. Price dinged me out and then took off towards the fucking highs. So had it not hit my target first, it would have stopped me out. But yeah, I knew what sort of risk I was taking with this trade, holding it over NFP. I had the opportunity to close it well before NFP if I wanted to, and I chose not to. So yeah, I chose to hold it and do the thing. I don't know if I'll probably show you the trade actually real quick. It was I'll show you on one of my accounts because looking on like a low risk account, just one of my small accounts. It's not, this individual trade isn't that big. So here is my entry. I got, so the price was 2701, and then I took profit at 2621. So I caught around, I think it was just under 80 pips. It was only a 0.2 volume. So I think it was around $60 risk for $160 gain. So that was like a little over 1 to 2. And yeah, it's a good trade. I opened it at well, this is server time, so I don't know how I'm not even gonna say because I don't even know what time it is. But yeah, I just know I got into the trade around New York Open on Thursday and closed it around New York Open on Friday. And yeah, those are the GU sells. I just wanted to break down my first trade of the year. This is my first trade of 2024. It's pretty decent. I didn't really like the fact of holding during NFP. Don't really like to do those things. A little bit risky on the risky side, but it ended up being a very, very good trade, and it looked like a very, very good trade apart from this absolutely horrible wick at the end. But we know why that is. It was due to NFP, and we expect those types of things. So now with this push to the upside, I'm honestly going to be looking for potential buys in the future. I'm going to see how the other pairs behave next week. I'll probably do a recap next week as well. And yeah, look to potentially take more trades in January. This is only the first week, and it's been pretty fucking good so far already. Yeah, I really like these sells from 2701 down to 26, I believe 21 was it, or yeah, 2620. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna sign out. I hope this is not too long. It's only 24 minutes this time. This is good. The rest of the fucking videos that I'll be making is like 40 minutes because we'll be rambling way too much. And I thought I probably have been rambling way too much in these fucking videos. Hopefully they're gonna get shorter in the future, but they're gonna get more packed with like knowledge and value. But yeah, I hope this hope you guys enjoyed. Just a quick trade recap. I'll catch you guys in the next video. And yeah, man, stay blessed.